It's an unlikely thing to be carrying, isn't it? A cabbage at the beginning of a dance piece. It doesn't look like much of a dancer, does it? It's not lean and willowy like an asparagus spear or a pulp sprouting broccoli, nor does it have the sexy curves of a butternut squash. No, it's a quite prosaic looking vegetable. However, as with all things in life, appearances can be deceptive. And the cabbage, or Brassica oleracea, to give it its proper Latin name, has a long and distinguished past. Did you know that the ancient Greeks worshipped the cabbage? They gave it holy powers. And the Ionians would use it, much as we might today, to swear an oath on a holy book. They would use the cabbage. The Greeks, too, treated the cabbage with considerable regard, and they were extremely careful not to plant cabbages near vines, because the cabbage would taint the growing grapes. And drinking wine was extremely important to the Greeks, as it was to the Romans, and they found an excellent use for the cabbage. They discovered that if you drank copious amounts of cabbage juice before embarking on one of your wine-fueled evenings of merriment, then it would minimize the effects the next day. But if in fact you had forgotten your cabbage juice and you woke up with a devil of a hangover, then the Romans had a solution to that too, eating lots of cabbage. But it's not all about history. The cabbage is in fact having a bit of a moment. Everywhere you go, there's kimchi, sauerkraut. Fermented things are the thing right now. And let's face it, it's got substance. You can do so much with it. You can saute it, fry it, bake it, roast it, peel off the leaves and stuff them with your favourite filling. Very cost effective. However, of course, there is one disadvantage with the cabbage, and that's the odour it gives off when it's overcooked, when it's put in the saucepan and boiled and boiled and boiled.
You know, it's always a risk. You need to be technically proficient. You can't just walk in off the street and into rehearsal. You need to be in touch with your feelings. You need to be truthful to the moment. If you don't feel it, how can the audience? It's not just dance. It's the embodiment of an era.
I had no idea what to expect when I said yes.
Well, you know, it's always a risk.
But if you're a natural dancer like me, will you just find your way through the work? I feel I bring my whole self into this. I'm really in there.
You need to be technically proficient. You can't just walk in off the street and into rehearsal.
Oh, these rehearsals, they are the ultimate test. They challenge your physical, mental, and psychological stamina. You have to be tough.
You have to be in touch with your feelings. You must be truthful to the moment. If you don't feel it, how can the audience?
Well, we are their guide through the work.
It's more than dance. It's the embodiment of an era.
We are synthesized into one thinking, breathing,
moving organism, transcending the constraints of space, time, and context.
We are time travelers, astronauts of doubt.
Yes! Welcome to Artefact, Suffragium. In vibrant matter, Jane Bennett articulates a new materialism, one which acknowledges the power inherent in things. She calls it thing power. The work you're about to see is a form of thing power. It evinces the ability of things to produce effects. In the dancer, to make the work. In the audience, to attend to it. Artefact, likewise, uses the thing power of objects, news reports, images, documents, and enlivens them to make something new. From the reports, we know that the choreography for Suffragium was delicate and gentle, robust and combative, with a mesmerizing physicality and tremendous momentum. But it was an ensemble work that transformed formal to liquid, playful to poignant, with emotionally charged grace and surprising moments of humour. We have some choice segments for your viewing pleasure today, scenes that we have scraped from those historical documents. It is still a work in progress. Last year we received a grant to make a trailer for more grants, so there wasn't much left or anything else. Be that as it may, the trailer has a thing power of its own, and has influenced much of what you see here today.
Well, since the making of the trailer, we've discovered that the cabbages were probably not used as symbols of fertility. They were much more likely used as props for weight training and just getting the suffragettes generally into line. But what we do know is that there was a definite milling section, and this as much as you would see before a flash mob today. We also know that there was a section called the living skirt, and this symbolised the way in which women's choices were just so often constrained by the choices of others, usually men. The horse race, a very important section. This section referenced the unfortunate, very tragic outcome of the protests at Epsom races. Today we have Karen Besant as the horse. Where's Karen? And the final part is the Suffragette Stomp, the iconic scene. We believe that we found some scraps of love and notation that were discovered under a cupboard in Chisholm. And from that, we have pieced together the Suffragette Stomp. But first, let's start with milling.
as you remember, as said earlier, we received a grant to do a trailer. Right, left, never mind. But we have to repeat that grant. And so I need some data from our audience. So, I believe you all have a cabbage leaf. Can you check that you've got it, please? Everyone's got their cabbage leaf? Very good. Right, if your answer to any of the questions is yes, please raise that cabbage leaf nice and clearly above your head. Are you over 65? Do you live in the city of Yarra? Do you plan to take refreshments in the city of Yarra after the show? Did you come here by public transport? Do you use a compost bin? Do you contribute to the grid? Have you been to Dance House previously? And did you come today because you know someone in the audience? Saw a live performance within the last year. Are you involved in the arts? And do you consider yourself pretty well educated? Have you worked for a living? Do you still work for a living? Do you want to stop working for a living? Do you eat well? Don't like cabbage? Have you ever used a cabbage as a threat? Thank you for that. That's fantastic. Got that recorded. I'm now going to ask the dancers questions as well. Engages in a regular dance class. Contemporary. Ballet class. Contact improvisation. Pole dancing. Trained and untrained. Did you see a live performance in the last year? Dance. Theatre. Music. And circus. Do you work in the arts? Well, great. Thank you, everyone. That was most excellent. And now I have what I need for the grant acquittal. Thank you. Thank you.
Angelina, where are you? Oh, hi. You know, I never thought we'd get to this point. I didn't think we'd find the right people for the hemline of the skirts.
I know. You can only audition so many people.
I know, and it's such an important role. I don't know why people didn't audition.
Well, so much depends on the people at the base.
Yeah, you're right. And people don't get it. They don't get how hard it is to be the bass. You have to stay there and kneel and bend and stoop, and then you need control and stamina.
You have to have sensitivity to the dancer above.
True, and attunement to the other hemlines.
But enough from us. Let's cross live to our reporter in the field.
Hi! I'm the cadet reporter, and I'm thrilled to be stationed here in this time, in this place, when history is being made. A dance piece of such monumental importance. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer to the dancers. Hi, do you have a moment for our listeners?
No, I'm busy.
Okay. Hi, do you have some time to share your experience?
Sure.
What drew you to this role?
Well, I've always wanted to be the hem of a skirt, and
I know, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of this amazing team.
So what was it like when you were told you got the role?
I know it was crazy, but I'm stoked.
Hi, do you have a moment? How has being a skirt changed your life direction?
Oh, I'm much more confident now. I'm even thinking of directing my own solo show.
And what message do you have for future hemlines?
You know, it's not only rolling out on the floor, it is a foundation of a theatrical image.
It's so important.
I really can't leave without acknowledging all my followers and patrons. There are too many of you to mention, but you know who you are. I think as you age, there can be fewer opportunities. But with you, I know there'll be a captive audience that will really appreciate my prodigious talents. I won't notice if something goes wrong. It's truly humbling, and I'm deeply grateful. Well, you know, it takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a community to raise an artist. So, thank you. Oh, I'm so excited to see where this will all lead. Thanks to Mum and Dad for looking the other way all those times, but still paying the bills. Thanks to my dog Buster and my canary Audiella. You keep me sane. Well, I'll see you on Insta or send me a like on Facebook. Oh, and thanks to all the great teachers that have prepared me and trained me physically and vocally for this. Well, thanks to City of Yarra. Thanks to all the dancers behind the scenes and, you know, backstage crew and dance house for putting this up. And the dancers, other choreographers, thank you for staying awake. And thanks to Mitzi's Pizzas and the guy at the food shop.